Hi, welcome to Convince Me Audio. Today we have the review of these, the Meze Empyreans from Meze Audio. Let's talk. This passion project from Antonio from Meze Audio and the team was 2 years in its conception, before it was actually released to the audio shows to be toured around and get some feedback. Some of the design has been taken from the Meze 99 Classics, but refined in every single way. This is a no bar hold flagship headphone, coming in at $3,000. So let's talk about the design, fit and finish first. The headband is constructed of carbon fiber with absolute perfect precision. No kinks, dents, wonky cut-ins or anything. It's just beautiful. The steel rods, where the mechanism is held for increasing and decreasing the size, goes up and down with some resistance, and yet there is absolutely no drag, no feeling of metal rubbing against metal. This beautiful cup is CC machined out of a single block of aluminium. Now, its attention to detail is mesmerizing. It's absolutely perfect. And then we come to the inside of the headphones. These cups are magnetically attached so that they can easily be pried on and off. This not only allows you to change over to their leather pads, which change the sound quite drastically, but it actually has a sonic benefit because the magnets are arranged underneath in such a way that it helps and aids the driver. More on that in a little bit. The tilting mechanism going forward and up and back and up allows you to get the most perfect fit you can possibly find. Now, this is the best part of the headphone, the headband. It doesn't cause any hot spots. The headband is designed so that it wraps around the head completely, and there's this spring mechanism design where it flares out as well so that the weight is evenly distributed over the head. These are an all-day wearing headphone. There is absolutely no other headphone that can match it unless it would be the $6,000 Sesvaras. Comfort, design, perfection. Flagship material, 100%. The driver system behind the Meze Audio Empyrean comes from this isodynamic hybrid array driver. This is a patented design developed by Runaro Isodynamics, and it's a full trace with two unique distinct shapes. The curved line switchback up here focuses completely on the low end. This is where the bass region happens. Now, if we look down here, the circular pattern of the trace here focuses completely on the mid-range and treble. When wearing these headphones, this part of the trace is supposed to sit exactly over the ear canal. This is to reduce distortion in the treble region, improve imaging and layering and soundstage, and give more of a natural delivery in the mid-range. And in my testing, we will get onto later in the sound section, this definitely works. And there is a discrepancy between the low and the high and where you place your ear in conjunction to the actual trace down here. The final aspect of the Meze Empyrean driver tuning comes from these two unique distinct pads themselves, the Alcantara and the leather. Both of these have been integrated with an isodynamic magnetic alignment system that not only allows for coupling and decoupling of the pads themselves off of the headphone and provide the usual seal and comfort, but allow for a ferromagnetic plates to channel the demagnetizing field back into the driver itself, increasing efficiency by 1 dB or 12%. This is rather unique to headphones, and it's the first time I've come across such a technology be integrated in such a manner to actually allow for the finalization tuning of the drivers. This, but to deflect 95% of stray fields away from the head too. These headphones come in at 31.6 ohms and 100 decibels. They're very easy to drive. You can literally drive them with anything. Though with competent gear, like I have behind me, like the HDVD or the A90, they will perform much better than say a phone or a DAP. But I have been running these on the FIO M11 Pro, on the Apple Lightning dongle, if you can believe it, and on the desktop setup with varying results, but good across the board. So you can step away from your desk, plug it into your DAP and walk around the house with absolutely no problem. Okay, I touched on the comfort. Let's talk about the comfort properly. Now, these are all-day wearing headphones. You will find no hot spots on the headband due to this design. Due to the way the weight gets distributed on the head, there is absolutely no problem. I've been wearing these for 6-7 hours a day with absolutely no issues. The clamp pressure is perfect. It's like wearing two soft memory foam pads on your ears with absolutely no weight on top. These are 430 grams. They're not light. I honestly believe they might only be 300. The weight is so evenly distributed, it's exceptional. Not only that, the magnets inside here are, because they're not a circular design, it basically means they're closer to the head and the weight has been reduced exponentially. They're only 65 grams. Now, if this was designed like an Odyssey, it would easily tout over 600 grams, no problem. But these drivers are as far away as you can get from planars without leaving the planar technology field. So they don't really sound like planars. Their bass region performs like a planar. It's quite exceptional. Going back to the comfort, the clamp is perfect on these. Though I'm having a little difficulty with these pads. I don't think they breathe too well. They're not like a Sesvara. Sesvara, for some reason, your ears never ever get warm. They're just perfect. These are damn comfortable. I just don't know how they're going to perform in the summertime. But for now, definitely the most comfortable headphone on the planet, next to Sesvara's. There's a specific target audience for these headphones. I don't honestly believe they are for people who go after Utopia, go after the LCD4, or go after the Diana V2 from Abyss. This is a luxury item in the flagship territory. Do they have flagship sound? Yes, with caveats. Do they have the flagship build and comfort? Yes, because they stand head and shoulders above all the rest. There is no caveats there whatsoever. But as a package, from sound to design to construction to build to every aspect and nuance of the headphone, it makes a beautiful package that is truly flagship. Now, all that is exciting and interesting, but these are $3,000. How do they sound? And most importantly, how do these stack up against the big boys up there like the LCD4, the Focal Utopia, the Abyss Diana V2? The Abyss Diana V2 I can't speak for yet because those are coming in for review. Utopia and LCD4 are on the way as well. So subscribe, press the notification icon so you can be notified when those reviews go live. And if you are interested, you might want to join us over the Audio Lounge chat on Patreon and get on-the-fly impressions of what I think about those headphones as the review is being created. Now, the sound signature on these. Like I stated previously, there is a vast amount of difference between the leather pads and the Alcantara pads. I do not like the leather pads in the slightest. I will jump on that during the caveat section of this review, but for now my focus is on the Alcantara pads because this is the Meze Audio house sound. This is what you should be buying these for, and I think the caveats and the problems the leather pads provide is a detriment to these headphones personally. Let's break down the sound. Staging on these headphones is huge. There's excellent depth, excellent width, excellent height, And what's fortunate is the stage has the ability to expand like this and then shrink like this, but not only laterally, vertically and via the depth as well. So singers can come right forward and take a massive step right back. Most of my impressions and listening have been on these Alcantara pads because I think the timbre, the tonality and the bass response and the sound signature is far more pleasing. The imaging and the layering is exceptional on these, true flagship standards. Absolutely blown away. I was so surprised. Instruments have a tendency to not only be accurately placed, but they've got this tendency to move in such a way within the stage that I'm quite surprised and did not expect. They don't just go from left to right or up and down or forward and back. They've got this tendency to be a third of the way into the stage, and not only this, but curve around and over, but within that tiny small field. And it's noticeable because you can actually see the sound curving around itself and going forward and back within that small area. And I've not heard that on other headphones. I can't quite recall on Sasvara's, but it might be unique to these. It was actually really shocking the first time I heard in an electronic track a specific synth coming from behind the singer's shoulder, going over her body and then turning around and then passing by her hip. It was the weirdest feeling. I've not known such nuances in a soundstage previously. Instruments have a tendency to sound quite big, not as big as an HD800S within the stage, but they are big. They're definitely trumping arias and vocal clears and LCDX and all those kinds of bottom tier flagships, I like to call them. What stands out on these is that imaging and staging and the vocals. The rest of the soundscape, which I will get onto, is more good enough rather than true flagship. The bass region is excellent. It goes really low, like at least audibly 25 Hz, maybe slightly below. It's insane. And it's extremely linear all the way up to 1K. It's quite surprising how actually flat it is, to be honest with you. The mid-range is warm. It's a very warm sounding headphone, these with this Alcantara pads. Very, very smooth. Excellent tonality. And the treble region is airy. It has got enough detail to satisfy someone, but it's really laid back. But the bass is fast, it's quick, it's textured, it's nuanced. It hits rather in the chest than punch you in the face like a vocal clear or a vocal utopia or something like that. It's very dynamic. It's extremely good for EDM. Like I stated previously, you can literally throw any genre of music at these headphones and it will perform really well. Really well. It doesn't have a specific genre tied to it where you think, yeah, it's an LCDX where EDM or rock is its predominant feature, then the rest is just mediocre. No, this does everything pretty damn well. You can throw anything at it. Because it's smooth, it's warm, it's comfortable, you can use it as your only headphone, as your daily driver. I think it's extremely versatile. The treble region is smooth, it's got enough detail, but it's laid back. There is some sparkle and air there, but it's a dark sounding headphone, so it's a dark and warm. So if that sound signature is not for you, I think you might focus on the leather pads, but that has its own caveats. I absolutely love these headphones. If it wasn't for the Hi-Fi Sasvaras, they would never leave my desk. They are amazing. They are incredible. They are versatile. Timbre on these headphones is good enough. It's good enough where wearing a Hi-Fi aria, I think your timbre is incorrect. On these, I don't think about timbre. Detail is good enough. There is enough there to satisfy you if you're looking for it, but it will never be thrown at you. So that's another aspect you will just not be thinking about. It's very difficult to analyze these headphones. They're not analytical headphones. They're just pure pleasure listening. Micro detail and micro dynamics is there. It's good enough, but I don't think it's flagship material. I don't think it's Utopia levels. Not in the slightest, no. The thing is though with these, it's just a jack of all trades and a master of pretty much everything, just not absolutely exceptional at everything. I would say the staging and the imaging and the vocals do stand out. The vocals are very, very present. They're lifelike. They don't have the ability of Susvara's where you see the vocals here with your ears literally, but then there's a space behind her and all around her and then reflections of the actual stage around her. It's just present and it's very, very vivid. It's good. It's very good. It's just not Susvara levels of good, and these are half the price. But here's the thing. These are $3,000 MSRP. You can pick up a used Susvara for about $3,500. Should you save up the money for that? There will be comparisons coming later on. I've given you a rough idea of the sound signature and the bass, mids and treble, but there is something about the bass I would like to swing back around to, and that is the size. These diaphragms are huge and the bass is massive on these. It's transparent, it's textured, but it's huge and it doesn't always pop up. It pops up when it needs to, but when it does, your breath gets taken away. It's quite mesmerizing because it's a wall of sound. It's huge. So overall, I would say these are very, very, very pleasing. I love them to bits. Excellent, excellent headphones. The price of these headphones are very high. Their sound quality is good, very good. But is it flagship? The build quality is flagship. We have pointed out who it might actually be for. And I think if somebody who is worrying about the money and the price tag, I think this is not for you. For somebody who just wants a decent listening experience that is above the low end of the flagships, this is another excellent choice. Somebody who chooses the Verite Close from ZMF would choose these two. If somebody who's looking for analytical headphones that leans towards Susvara tonality, this is not for you. For somebody who wants to analyze music and break down every nuances of the track, these are not for you. This has a specific market. My subjective opinion for these headphones are somebody who can afford it, somebody who doesn't need to worry about money, somebody who likes the design and the look and is actually buying into the company's efforts that's gone into this work of art, somebody who appreciates the unique isodynamic hybrid array drivers and really likes the technical side of those and how unique they are. It's for somebody who really truly appreciates comfort, and it's for somebody who just wants one headphone that does it all. When you buy an LCD4, yes, the bass is better than this, but the rest of the frequency isn't. The weight isn't. It's 700 freaking grams. It's like wearing a chicken on your head. The Focal Utopia, small soundstage, incredible detail, dynamics and punch. But sometimes you don't want that. You want bigger stage, you want a bit more laid back, you want to enjoy the music. And I think the build of these destroy those. I don't like focal headbands. They're thick, they're heavy, they're weighty, and I don't care for it. Though the Utopia is coming in, it is carbon fiber such as this, so maybe it's improved. I will be able to let you know. Do I think these deserve a $3,000 price tag? Overall, for some people, yes. Personally thinking, no. I think Meze Audio should have placed these at around $2,400. And if they had done that, these would have been more reachable to a lot of more people. These would have destroyed pretty much everything in that category, unless somebody wanted the Verite closed. Those are 700 grams, so remember, and those are absolutely beautiful too. So it would have been a pick between these two. But at $3,000, you're in used Susvara territory. You're in Diana V2 and Utopia and LCD4 technicality stage, I think as an all-round headphone, these stand heads and shoulders above all the Utopias, LCD4s and the rest of it because of the complete package. I don't think those flagships are, but that's my belief. The leather pads, these are neutral, more of the Harman curve. They don't sound great at all. I can't stand them. I think they break these headphones. They try to be neutral and it's doing it badly. The staging is hazy. The detail is hazy. There's a filter on everything, like you're wearing dark glasses on a bright day. It's brown. It sounds brown. It sounds like a baby's diaper. Those are more green, to be honest with you. But yeah, it sounds like a filled diaper. I don't like it. The sub bass is non-existent. I don't know where it's disappeared to. On these Alcantara pads, they blow your brains out. On those, they're non-existent. The mid bass on these is punchy, defined, clean, clear, exceptional. So I will say from about 40 Hertz up to 800 Hertz, these are exceptionally good. But mid-range is shouty, it's not pleasant, the treble is forward, it's not smooth, I don't like it. This is the Romanian Seduction at its best with the Alcantara pads. This is divorce territory. I don't care for it. I don't like it. Nope, don't care for it. I think the headphones should have, from the manufacturer, come with the Alcantara pads first, not the leathers. So, the Meze Empyrean. Where do you stand? How many tigers do you get? And what do I think of you? I love these headphones. I think they're head and shoulders above the flagship market because of everything they do, not because of one thing they do. And I wish it was a little cheaper. I think $3,000 is stretching a little bit with the sound. Maybe it gets there at times, but no, not quite. Not quite. I've heard as far as, and if I can pick up those used, yeah. But as a complete package and at $3,000, I have to judge you on that. I think the sound gets 3 strong tigers. I think the build quality gets 5 tigers. I think the price gets 2 tigers. I will give these an overall score of 4 tigers. Well done, Meze Audio. These are exceptional. I would like to take a moment to thank my Patreon members. Thank you for keeping the Audio Lounge chat alive. Thank you for pushing me to do better and better per video. I really do appreciate it. I'm Koji CEO. If you like this review and if you want to see more reviews like this, please subscribe. Press the notification icon so you get annoyed and irritated when another review goes live. And if you like to chat to me and discuss audio and the rest of the group, please come and join us over at the Audio Lounge chat over on Patreon. We would love to have you. I'll see you next time. Peace.